Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 42 of Popcorn Problems. My name is Ilan Pressman, and I'm here with my very good friend and fellow co-host,
Nicholas DePasco. Every week, we'll make sure you're caught up with the biggest news and movies in Hollywood.
This week we're going to be giving you our review of Disclosure Day, one of last weekend's biggest new releases. But before we get to that, what's poppin'? Where we run through the biggest movie stories this week. What's up, guys? How we doing? Thank you for joining us for another episode. We have a decent amount of things to talk about this time. Some interesting leak stuff to talk about. So it's gonna be pretty fun. I'm gonna get us into the box office like we always do, and then we'll move on from there. So the weekend total this week was $119.4 million, which is down from this particular weekend in 2025. I'm not 100% sure what came out this weekend in 2025.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I have no idea, but whatever came out, it was down 22% from that and down 34% from last weekend. Our number one this week is Disclosure Day, $44 million domestic, $92.9 million global on a $115 million budget. It's Spielberg's first summer movie since 2016, and it's his best domestic opening for an original film. The crowd skewed older with 60% aged 35 or up. And it got a B cinema score, which is his lowest cinema score since Crystal Skull. So we'll see what the legs look like on this one. I know it did hit the 100 million point since the weekend ended. So it has already passed the 100 million point. Yeah, pretty cool. So we'll see. We'll see how this one does.
I don't think it has too much longevity, but I'm glad that like Spielberg can at least make his budget back, even if that doesn't come.
Yeah, he can still sell tickets. Yeah,
he can still sell tickets.
At number two this week, we have Obsession's first drop in its fifth weekend. It pulled in 19 million domestic and dropped only 25%, which means that domestically we're at 188 million and a global total of 286.5 million. And once again, this is still just going to keep growing. And it's probably going to hit the 300 million points somewhat soon. Probably by next weekend, to be honest.
Let's get it to 1 billion.
Yeah. And then other than that, this weekend honestly had a lot of drops just because there's so much in the marketplace right now. It's inevitable for things to drop. For example, number 3 is Scary Movie. It had a 73% drop from last weekend. Number 4 is Backrooms. It had a 57% drop from last weekend in its third week. Number 5 is Masters of the Universe. In its second week, it only pulled in 8.4 million domestic, a 71% drop. Mandalorian and Grogu dropped 53%, still hasn't even passed $300 million, just completely embarrassing. And Michael is still doing pretty good, only dropped 46% in its 8th weekend, and has officially passed Bohemian Rhapsody to become the top grossing music biopic ever, and it is 43 million shy of catching Oppenheimer for the all-time biopic. Pretty cool. Last thing on here that I wanted to mention is that number 8 is the new action movie, The Furious. It's a Hong Kong martial arts film, which opened at 2.9 million on a $20 million budget, but it scored a 97% Rotten Tomatoes and an A cinema score. I did see this, so I will be talking about it later on. Overall, year to date, we're up 13% from last year. Between this point, so this from January 1st to June 14th, that's when these numbers are from. The box office is at 4.17 billion, compared to this, January 1st to June 14th of last year was only 3.69 billion. And that gap is only going to grow this coming week with Toy Story, which is going to make a huge, huge amount of money this coming weekend.
Hell yeah.
So that's the box office. Before we get into the random news that we have for this week, I wanted to talk about the leak situation that's going on at Marvel. I feel like it started a couple months ago with the first Spider-Man trailer leak. I think we talked about that whenever that came out. We've been avoiding talking about the second trailer leak on this pod just because I haven't seen it. I'm tired of the trailer leaks, and so I'm just waiting for it to be released. We were going to film last night, actually, But then the Spider-Man tickets went on sale this morning, and so we were under the impression that there was going to be the trailer release this morning, and then we would have been able to talk about it for this pod. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, so we aren't able to talk about the second Spider-Man trailer just yet. But something that we did both see is our first like real footage leak from Avengers Doomsday, which is crazy. What is happening over there in Marvel, man? It's crazy.
I don't even know, bro. Like, they definitely, like I said, they have a leak in their whole boat system or whatever they want to call it. They just have somebody going against them. I don't know what this person has against Marvel. Maybe they're one of the VFX people that was fired semi-recently. I could see that being a reality. You know, if that's the case, it'd be crazy. Because it also feels kind of pointless. You know, we got this Spider-Man leak maybe like a week ago, and then we got the Doomsday like a little clip a few days ago, and we're gonna get these films. We're gonna get the Spider-Man trailer like probably later today, maybe. We got some new posters, so I could see that being a new trailer as well, a new trailer signifier. And then like Doomsday is gonna come out like at the end of the year. I don't really understand the point of these leaks coming out in the way that they do. The Doomsday one a little bit more, I guess, other than just like for internet points. But
so you're of the impression that it's on purpose.
I mean, like, what do you? Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like, somebody is definitely uploading this or leaking this for either money. Like, maybe they're selling it to some like news or like
no.
Twitter account.
When I say on purpose, I mean done. Like Marvel themselves is putting these out there. That's what I mean by on purpose.
No, absolutely not. No.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, there's no way they're doing that. It just makes them look so bad. Makes them look unprofessional. You know, it's going to diminish the hype whenever we actually do get that trailer, get that whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just a strange situation. We are gonna get. I could 100% see a world where the whole Spider-Man movie gets leaked before. Like an Avatar situation.
Well, didn't that happen? Weren't they?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
The film, like that's like how does that even happen? I was reading online that like the film was out there like on the dark web somewhere, like people were auctioning it off or whatever, like an unfinished version with unfinished CGI.
It's this Sony security, like literally ever since North Korea a few years ago, they haven't had like a stable security system since. Every single Spider-Man film has had some sort of leak. Even back in, I mean, whether it be from Tom Holland or from actual like people like hacking into their shit or people within their shit leaking it. I know you remember the No Way Home leaks for the trailer as well that are similar to this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do want to talk about the information.
Getting complete deja vu.
Yeah, no, literally. I kind of do want to talk about what's actually in the trailers, but I know you haven't seen it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'll talk about that hopefully next week, whenever they decide they're going to drop the trailer. There's like an event, I mentioned this to Nick, but there's an event going on in Amsterdam that like the cast is going to be at today. So people are theorizing that it might be dropping there. But once again, I just find it to be silly to not have dropped it this morning when the tickets have gone on sale, but you know.
I mean, like I said, like we just got new posters that like were released, I'm assuming because of the event.
Right.
So if we got new posters, that could mean with like new images and like new things on those posters, because they do look interesting. And we also got that popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
Which is just a New York City.
Yeah, a lot of cool popcorn buckets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so, that wasn't the only one. There's a decent amount of cool ones that I saw that got released, or like
I only saw
first
one.
Images of them. Yeah, that's kind of like the most boring one. There was like a Spider-Man head. There's one of his like arm like flipping a web. Yeah.
Yes, Happy Meal toys for 30-year-olds. That also
yes. I will say I bought the Scream popcorn bucket like when Scream 7 came out, and it has been sitting on my counter, not even being looked at. I mean,
completely and utterly ignored.
Yeah,
actually,
I think
just dust collector.
If I were to get anything, I would get like a cup. I feel like that is something I would actually use at some point. But I mean, these popcorn buckets are ridiculous. Did you know with some of these gimmick ones, like they give you the thing, and then they give you like just a regular bucket of like a regular thing of popcorn on the side. Like they don't even put the popcorn in the bucket. What the fuck is the point? I didn't even know that.
because people collect them and people don't want to dirty them. So sometimes like people don't want to even. I mean, I used to, for context, I used to work at both Regal and AMC. So I'm tuned in. I'm locked into the inner workings of all of these businesses. But yeah, no, I mean, sometimes people just want to collect them and they don't want to actually use them for popcorn. They don't want to dirty them. They just want to put it on their shelf as like a display item. So we give them the clean bucket, usually in like a plastic wrapping or something like that. And
exactly.
A bucket of a large popcorn on the side.
I
mean,
know.
it makes sense. I kind of would want to do that. It depends on like what the bucket is. If it's just like
it makes sense, but it just completely ruins the point of it being a pop. I feel like the fun is like eating out of the gimmicky thing while you're watching the film. That's my take on it. You cannot
eat out of half of these fucking buckets.
I know.
Like genuinely,
it's
Did
ridiculous.
you see the Disclosure Day bucket? Did you see the Disclosure Day bucket? That shit is literally gonna. Wait, did you see it?
Which one is the Disclosure? Let me look it up. Hold on.
It's literally just a deer head.
I was thinking about the Masters of the Universe one, like the sword one. Okay, I just see this. But you could put some popcorn in it.
Bro,
like,
there
are
the
some
fucking bucket
that like
you can fit like genuinely like not even a small popcorn bag worth of popcorn in some of these buckets, bro. And my point with the Disclosure Day one, it's like, bro, I'm literally gonna poke my eye out while I'm just trying to eat popcorn while I'm watching this fucking movie, dog. Like,
it's the
genuinely,
Lobo
what
one.
the fuck?
It's the Lobo one for the upcoming Supergirl movie. Did you see that one?
Oh yeah. That was fucking.
You just
stupid,
actually
dude.
can't put. You actually just can't put popcorn in that. There's just no.
No, genuinely. I know. That's what I mean, bro. They've gone too far. It's too irrelevant. You know, they used to be cool. I remember when they started like making like popcorn buckets like more for like every film.
The Dune one,
like, oh
that was fire. That was really cool.
Yeah, like when they have an actual idea. Low key, the Scary Movie one was good. Like I liked it. I was like, okay, I get the vibe.
Which one? The
Bong
phone?
one.
The Bong wasn't real.
Oh, the phone one was.
It was just a promotional thing. Yes, I know.
So... Fuck, I shouldn't say that. I'll edit this and I'll blur that out.
Fucking the Dunosi.
The Dunosi, bro. I mean, listen. If you got a Dune popcorn bucket, like, would you have done that? Would you have at least tried it?
I tried to get a Dune popcorn bucket. They were sold out when I went. I wanted one.
You had your intentions, bro. You had your intentions set. Yeah, I didn't even. I literally worked. I think I worked at the theater when Dune.
You probably were.
Was happening, and it didn't. I didn't manage to get it. Also, did you see that Supergirl cup? I don't know if it's real, but like it's the
foreskin one.
Yeah, the foreskin one. Yeah.
Yes. that is real.
Disgusting.
That is real, and it looks
real?
terrible. It looks really bad.
Boy.
I get what they were going because I actually bought like there was a Superman version of that cup where it's literally the same thing just without the foreskin part on it, and I bought that cup when Superman came out last year, right? So I get what they're doing. Like they were just trying to do the same thing, and they had to like differentiate it somehow. But yeah,
why not
somebody should have.
They could have changed the color a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's literally
somebody should have said something.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
All right. I just have a couple smaller headlines to talk about, so I'll just kind of list them off. Then you can mention which one of these bring up your interest at the end. Here we go. Do you remember that movie Hitman that came out on Netflix with Glenn Powell a couple years ago?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. Well, it's getting a Netflix series with Glenn Powell and Richard Linklater executive producing. The Duffer Brothers have set a mysterious Paramount event movie for November 2028. Their first
I feel like
major.
That's gonna be Stranger Things.
You think, but it's Paramount.
Oh, true, I guess. But like,
it's not Netflix.
And they could have partnered. I just feel like depending on how successful their whatever this thing is, their new show, their new Netflix show is. I think it's called like The Burrows.
Yeah, it's not. From what I've heard, it's not doing that. Like it's doing like mediocre.
That's what I mean, and I feel like why make it mysterious? Like, wouldn't you want to announce something like interesting or neat? And so I feel like
they think they still have the cool points.
That's what I mean. I remember in their documentary they said like, oh yeah, we'll make a Stranger Things like movie or season or something else when we're like when we don't know what else to do and we need it. So
they're pretty. They're here already. If it was to be Stranger Things, it would be with Sony because that's the studio that Sony partners with the most. Like with the upcoming
Okay, that makes
with the
sense.
upcoming Narnia movie, that's
Hmm.
going to get the theatrical release. That's going to be released through Sony. So it's definitely
I
not
see.
Stranger Things.
Well, we'll see.
Um, yeah, Mike Myers says that Austin Powers 4 is in the works. Anya Taylor-Joy has joined the Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum, which is the upcoming Lord of the Rings film, which is set for 2027. And Harry Potter, this is the TV show, has cast Peter Serafinowicz as fan favorite poltergeist Peeves, who is a character from the books that I really, really like and was not in the movies. They just cut his role out of the movies. He doesn't have much to do in the story. He's definitely more of like a comedic relief and does more in the earlier books slash I guess in this situation it'll be the earlier seasons like 1, 2, and 3. He just like is like a troublemaker around Hogwarts,
Is
and
he a kid?
sometimes no, he's like a ghost. He's a poltergeist, so he's like a ghost that
Oh,
could like
okay.
interact with.
But like,
uh
is the ghost a kid or is the ghost an adult?
no, it's not a kid. It's I forget the reason why he's there. It's been a while since I've been into Harry Potter, but it is a cool character, and one that obviously wasn't in the movie, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with him in live action. I remember I saw like test footage. He was supposed to be in the first one, like not Chamber of Secrets. What is it, Philosopher's Stone?
Yeah.
But so I guess during production, like they just didn't have the technology for it yet to make it work, so they cut his role. Like you could find the test footage on YouTube. It's obviously not the best like effects wise because it's not very far in, but it is
Hmm.
cool just so you can have an idea of what the character is going to be like. That's
Interesting.
all for news. I don't have much else to talk about. Is there anything that I missed that you wanted to throw in?
Yeah, so we got a first look at Shrek 5, the long-awaited Kintiquel. Uh, um, yeah, it's the, it's controversial. They changed the art style. I know you said it looked ugly. I kind of don't mind it. It's definitely softened, like almost what I would call a Disneyfied version of Shrek. If AI prompt if Disney made Shrek, bro, like I feel like people have done that already. But whatever, and that's kind of what this looks like. Um, like I said, though, it doesn't look bad. They're definitely trying something like bouncier with it. And from what I saw with the trailer, it seems like they're trying to keep that same sort of like edgy sense of humor, which is the
Mm-hmm.
most important thing. I also, I don't know if this is true. This could be bullshit, but I heard this from like a leak as well that that the production of this film was problematic because originally they were gonna make
The
Shrek
plot
go to the
leak.
real world.
The plot leak.
Huh? Yeah,
The
the
plot
plot
leak.
leak. Yeah. They were originally gonna make Shrek go to the real world and interact with real people because his daughter escaped. This, that, and the other, yada yada. Well, they're not doing that anymore, and they're actually going to some place called
Farther
Further
away.
Away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Further
which I
away.
kind of like. I thought it was like, okay, that's cute, that's clever, that's funny. It's still like within the same world of Shrek, and it's like somewhere else. It's somewhere new. I kind of like it. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I was expecting to like groan and moan at this trailer, but it looks heartfelt. Oh yeah, and there's definitely a time skip. So now
They're all
the Shrek
older.
kids are now are now teenagers who with perms and bowl cuts,
Marcelo
which is
Hernandez and Skylar Gisondo.
hell yeah, and they certainly look like their characters. I don't know if they like say have any lines, but I can already tell which one's gonna voice which.
Uh, well, they definitely
I
have
don't know.
lines because they casted these big actors for them.
No, I mean in the trailer. In the trailer,
Oh, okay.
if they have lines in the trailer, yeah, I don't know if I can tell, but I just from looking at them, I can see which actor is gonna voice which. It's very interesting. If you see them, have you seen them? Have you seen a picture of
I'm looking up the image right now.
them?
Hold on, Shrek 5 kids. I don't even know what I would look up
Yeah,
for
just like
this.
search up kids, honestly. Yeah, or just Shrek
Sons.
5.
Shrek 5 Sons trailer. Okay, here we go. Marcel Hernandez is voicing the one on the right.
The curly haired one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee you.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's funny.
But yeah, overall, honestly, Alon, I do recommend you watch the trailer so you can also
I
have your
will at
thoughts.
some point. They're probably gonna play in front of Toy Story 5, which I'm seeing on
Most
Thursday.
likely, most
So
likely. But yeah, and also Zendaya is playing the teenage daughter because of course she is. She has to be in everything these days.
yeah,
Um, and you know she's not bad. But yeah, honestly, kind of cautiously optimistic as to what a fifth sequel to Shrek could be. You know what? I'll tell you this much. I have more hope for Shrek 5 than Toy Story 5.
interesting.
Yeah,
I've heard very mixed things on Toy Story 5 because I know like the review embargo
yeah.
broke yesterday.
Hmm.
So the initial reviews came out, and I've heard very good things, not that good things. So we'll see.
I saw a review that their finishing line, at least for the tweet, was it definitely
It's better
what was
than Toy Story 4.
no. They said it definitely justifies its existence, and I'm like, oh, if you're saying that, then that means it definitely doesn't justify its existence. It definitely is another Toy Story 4 where this shit could have been a short. This shit could have been literally anything else. It didn't have to be a movie.
I really didn't like
But
Toy Story 4. I don't think I even saw
me
that in
neither.
theaters. I saw it like during COVID on Disney Plus just because
Hmm.
I didn't care. And yeah, I'm not upset that I did.
No, yeah, I
Um,
saw Toy Story 4 in theaters, but just real quickly, yeah, I saw Toy Story 4 in theaters, but I really didn't like it either, and I think that's the reason it pissed me off more than anything was just because it really didn't justify its existence. I was just like, it wasn't bad, it wasn't like egregious, it was okay, but I think because of how okay it was, I think that just pissed me off even more. I was like, wow, you guys really just a kind of a nothing burger of a movie here, and I'm sure Toy Story 5 will be just like that. I do have one more piece of news real quickly to talk about.
oh, go ahead.
Actually, related to Toy Story, I guess now. Kind of. We got a trailer also for the new Disney animated original film called Hex. Did you see this?
I saw the first 10 seconds of it, and I don't know if it's just because like AI is like keeps replicating the Disney like animation style or whatever,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
it looks so much like those AI like Pixar like things on TikTok. Like it's actually so bad.
That's so tragic because I actually kind of like the style of this film.
Yeah,
Or at
you
least
like
from
their
what I saw in
style.
the trailer.
I don't. I think we've been over this a lot, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's the other thing too. Like, it is kind of like able to be replicated easily by AI, which sucks because I do see what you're talking about.
Dude, it looks one for one.
Like, damn, bro. I mean, like that's the thing is like this is just like the 3D character like guide. Like I mean, like that's just like the Disney pipeline, the Disney style, unfortunately, and it's so easily replicatable, and they don't change it at all. So yeah, that's why you get AI that can make it so easily. It sucks. I do think that will like devalue the film in the long run, unfortunately, but whatever. Going into the actual film itself, it also looks interesting. I'm not gonna say it oh yeah, you just watched the first 10 seconds. It's about a girl who like finds out she's like a witch, and then she goes to essentially like Harry Potter, but for teenage girls, and
Interesting.
yeah, and like kind of mixed with like Wizard of Oz too. It doesn't. It looks interesting. Like I said, I like the art style. I like kind of like the darker. It kind of looks like that one show, not Amphibia, but what was the other one called? It was also a Disney show. Give me 1 second. What was this fucking thing called? The Owl House. Did you ever watch that, or do you know what that is?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it personally though.
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen like maybe images or clips or just anything about it, it's kind of like that same style where like a darker, kind of like more magic-y tone, which I want Disney to get into. I'm interested in this character, and they definitely focus a lot on the main character in this first trailer, which I think is smart. Because I feel like in all of their other original films that have come out in the past few years, they mainly focus on like, or I guess I'm talking more than anything about Strange Worlds. Do you remember that movie?
You know what? I think that's the one Disney movie in recent years that I skipped. I don't think I saw that.
I didn't see it either. I don't blame you. I didn't care, and like that's what I mean. Like the world, they really showed off in all the marketing of it. They really showed off like the world. I mean, I guess it is called Strange Worlds, but like the interesting creatures and like the environments and everything like that. And they really wanted people to soak into it, and nobody cared. It did look cool, but nobody cared. So this focus on character writing, and the story, and the actual plot, the actual emotional arc, I'm into. I'm excited for this film. Comes out November 25th. I also recommend you watch the trailer and just try to get past that the AI art style for a little bit.
Dude, it was actually so funny. For a couple seconds, I thought it was like really AI.
That sucks.
I really my mind's been broken with this Disney style. I don't know.
I know it's not even, and the worst part is it's not even your fault, bro. It's like just I mean it's both Disney not wanting
dude, all these fucking movies look the same. I don't get it. What is the point of this?
That's why we need to go back to traditional. We just need to change this shit up. That's why it's hard. I mean, I feel like, if you want to talk about this a little bit, I feel like it's we're at a point right now when it comes to both technology and creativity, like artists using technology, where you can make like a 3D animated film, not easily, but with certain assets or like certain things that already look like other things. We're at a point where like you can kind of like chop it together easily, and write something and then do something and then whatever, put it on the internet, and then that's it, because that's it's normalized now. There's kind of like a pipeline to making to using this technology for creative endeavors, but the issue with that is that it's easily replicatable. Now we have AI, so like now it can be either trained or just AI can just look like the thing that you're trying to do easily. So now there's more of a need for novelty, for something interesting, for some new visual element within our media to like really make it stand out and really put like a human stamp on it. The issue with that though is that that's hard to do, or it's not hard, but it requires more effort than just like people wanting to, or like a big company wanting to make a movie based on their pipeline that has already been done, or a smaller creator wanting to just like write a story and then just like putting it out there, and now they have to like put some other novelty to it, some other gimmick. So we're at a point where we either go back to traditionalism and like 2D animation, things that showed that there was human effort put into this, or we use that furthering technology for like novelty to make some sort of spectacle, because things can't be middle anymore. Or I mean they can be, but it looks boring and people will ignore it. As much as I liked this trailer, I don't know how successful it's going to be in the box office. Hexed, it feels kind of niche, and it feels kind of like a weird time to release it. I don't know, I'm into it, but I think it's going to be another, I mean hopefully better than Strange Worlds. I hope it at least makes its money. But I think it's gonna be another Strange World situation where like,
yeah, I don't know. This doesn't look good. I'm like looking at the trailer right now. I'm really not vibing with this, dude. This shit looks like ass.
You're not vibing with it? Okay,
I'm not. I just really can't stand this animation style, and I don't know how to explain it. But this is like the most this style has looked like itself. Like I feel like Hoppers, they like deviated slightly, right? And then we're just back. We're just back here again. Like I feel like this looks like Wish. This looks like Strange Worlds, like you mentioned. This looks like Encanto, which I actually did like Encanto, but I mean, visually, I'm talking.
I will say this doesn't look like Wish. Wish looked like a completely other monstrosity. I don't want to, don't. I want to give this a little bit more credit than
okay, fine. It looks like Elio.
That's fair.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Wish. I just looked up what Wish looked like. But yeah, my point is, doesn't look great. Not too excited about it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel most people are going to react to this, unfortunately. I mean, I'm just, like, a fan of animation, so, like, I kind of, I watch the slop anyway, even if it is AI.
No, so, I mean, we're going to review it. We're going to review it.
Oh,
anyway.
Definitely. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, I think most people are going to react like how you just did. You're like, yeah, it looks whatever.
Yeah. Because Disney has to realize that they have to start, like, wowing us again. They were at a point for a couple of years where they could kind of put out whatever and they'd make money. But the pendulum swing. We went back the other way where that's no longer the case, and now they have to start impressing us again.
They keep teasing us with like 2D animation, which I really think is the way for them.
That Gato movie looks interesting. I'm looking forward to that.
But that's also made by Pixar. Pixar knows how to make visually interesting things. They made Hoppers. Pixar is learning how to deviate from their Pixar style that people have already come to familiarize with. I don't think Disney has the ability to do that. I really don't. I think they can just make whatever, like this current style that we're looking at right now, like the Elio, even though that was also made by Pixar, but Elio, Hext, whatever, like Strange World, like bouncy kind of circular smooth style. They can't deviate from that. They can't make that better. They can only make that look better or like give it more details. So I think they can only go backwards and make a really, really interesting, like Studio Ghibli level 2D animated film. I think that's the only way. And they keep teasing it. They keep like, oh, we're maybe working on something. There's some interest here. They keep like talking about it in like conferences, and then they don't actually pull up with any sort of anything. They don't come correct. So I don't know what they're doing there, but I don't care anymore. I've already given up on the company, so I genuinely don't give a fuck anymore. Their amusement parks are gonna burn to the ground anyway someday, so who cares? Yeah. Sorry, I didn't. That was depressing.
The world's gonna end and we're all gonna die.
Yeah. Let's just hope that asteroid comes sooner than later. Let's look forward to Hex, guys. November 25th. Woo! And I actually am looking forward to Gato too. That looks interesting.
Yeah. That looks different.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Let's move into what we watched. Yeah, cool. So, sorry, I cut you off. That's my bad.
No, you're fine.
Now that you've concluded, we can move into what we watched. As I alluded to earlier, I watched the film The Furious, which is a Hong Kong like martial arts action film that got us like a decent release over here in the States. And I honestly had a fantastic time with it. I thought it was, you never really are going to these action movies for the story. But I found the story to be touching. It's about this father whose daughter gets like abducted by a human trafficking ring, and essentially he teams up with this other guy whose wife got taken by the ring to, kick ass and save their loved ones. And so it was a good premise, but what really carries the film is the choreography, is the action, is the sound design for the action. You feel every punch, you feel everything. The camera work is really cool. I think shooting a good action film is a skill that is being lost nowadays, I feel like, especially because I didn't watch Masters of the Universe in theaters, but I did pirate it, and they didn't film that in anything particularly interesting. But here, the way the camera's moving based on the fights and the way the characters are moving is really, really cool. It's not a long film. There's some good performances, which isn't something that you're really expecting when you're watching international horror film, international action film. But they still, there's still some pretty touching performances. A lot of great kid acting in this movie. Overall, just super fun. If you're able to see it in theaters, I would recommend it. Just like I said, the sound design is really good, so you want to hear it in those really cool speakers. But if you can't, I would watch it at home just at some point if you like action films. It's definitely worth a watch. I really enjoyed my time with The Furious.
What made you like? I mean, this isn't something that you would like normally watch. I don't think. What made you? What about this film like stood out to you that like made you want to go watch it in theaters or just watch it in general?
I saw the trailer, and I thought the trailer looked pretty good, and then I just wanted to go watch something else this week, and there wasn't really, other than Disclosure Day, there wasn't anything else to watch. I had rewatched Obsession for a third time. So I was like, you know what? I went with a coworker. We watched it. He also really liked it. It was just a great time.
Oh yeah, cool. I'm glad.
What about you, man?
Cool. I'll mention, because I forgot to mention it last week, I watched I Love Boosters. And
Okay.
yeah, I have a lot of, it's weird. I did enjoy this film at moments, at parts. I enjoyed it more than I didn't. But that ending, man, that really soured it, the whole thing, unfortunately. Um, Spoiler warning for the I Love Boosters. You cut just cut like five minutes ahead or something like that. So the whole film, it's very radical with its premise. I said this in my Letterboxd review, whatever. It's very radical in its premise, though. Stylistically, it's very radical. I do like this like cartoony sort of like thing that they have going on with like the music and the sound effects. I love. We need to bring sound effects back into film. That's something that is missing. I've noticed. Whatever. Everything about the film. It is interesting, is unique. It keeps your attention. But and as the story goes on, it gets like more convoluted and harder to follow. Yet I still manage to follow it.
And more fun and crazy.
Huh?
I said it also gets more fun and crazy.
Yeah, it gets more fun and crazy. I would say it gets to a point where they introduce like the teleporting machine, and I didn't have a problem with the teleporting machine. My problem came when they needed a second one, and they were like, "Oh, I just have a second one." And I'm like, "Okay." And then like just some other things happen after that point in terms of like the plot, where I kind of did check out. Where I was like, I don't know, some things are things are happening and they're doing something, and I feel like the film had like really great pacing up until maybe the half of the second act and the third act, where the conclusion of everything, like there was no emotional impact to like the conclusion of them like stealing everything and doing what they set out to do, and it really, and like I said, it really comes down to that last I guess achievement that they do, where it is to make everyone be in a big old protest. And it's just such a weird conclusion. It feels studio driven. It feels like executive driven, where this whole film, they're about literally stealing from the rich. They're literally stealing from the rich, and on like some Robin Hood shit. And whether that's like your political ideology, it is what it is, but that's what they're doing. And then to just conclude on everyone just organizing and fighting against the man, and then the man, or I guess the woman, being what's her name, Demi Moore, in this case, to be like, okay, I can't, giving her one like final villain speech, and then just being escorted off to do whatever to make more money, presumably from another to explain another business. Like, that's kind of what I mean, where like I feel like this film was so afraid to make a final point, because of what the repercussions of what it could mean, with what they've been saying throughout the whole, with all the crimes that they've been committing, frankly, throughout the whole film. So yeah, it just felt so weird. It felt so tone deaf. It felt cleaned. And worst of all, it felt like poorly acted, honestly. Something
really?
About the writing. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not gonna say nobody here gave a bad performance, necessarily, but I would say that the poor acting, or the stilted acting, just came from the really bad dialogue that felt last minute written. It was just kind of like, oh, we're talking about our emotions, and we did it, and this, that, and the other, and then maybe like a joke here or there, which could have been funny. Yeah, I just feel like this film focuses a lot on like that political ideology, and it doesn't follow through with it. But something I do want to mention that it does follow through with is the personal emotional arc of our main character, of Keke Palmer's character. That like ending, or like that one of the ending shots or scenes of like the ball of bills and money and all of that like coming down, I thought that was nice, and I thought it was a nice conclusion to her story arc, to her character, and that's what I mean when I say like there's so many. I also didn't like the love interest, like his whole plot line and everything. It felt kind of stupid and useless.
With like Keith Stanfield.
Yes, with like Keith Stanfield. Yeah, I was like I thought it was gonna lead up to something and then it didn't. So I was just like, okay, well that kind of felt like a waste of my time. Even if I felt like it was kind of funny, and like the one scene with the gimmick and with him turning into a monster or a demon was funny. I was like, I wish there was a point to it.
Right.
But yeah, like that's kind of what I mean when like there's like moments of shine, and then there's moments where I'm like, this is weird or weird for the sake of being weird, and kind of you're losing me. Yeah. Overall, though, a unique experience unlike anything I've had at the theater so far. And I don't think it's in theaters anymore, unfortunately. But I would recommend.
Yeah, if you see Boots Riley's Twitter, you'll see he's pretty upset about that.
Oh boy, I do feel bad for him. I bet he's like, this fucking 20-year-old. I spent all my fucking life, my whole career, being overshadowed by just some young fucking 20-year-old. Whatever. But yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I feel bad for the guy. But yeah, like I said, if you ever have the opportunity to watch it, definitely do. But just know that you're not going to get the conclusion that you wanted from it. Unfortunately. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the conclusion that I didn't want. So that's it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I watched this week. Or not this week, but whatever. You get the idea.
Alrighty, let's move into our main feature. Here's a quick summary off the internet, and then we'll go spoiler-free, and then full spoilers. Here we go. A meteorologist and a cybersecurity expert find themselves at the center of a movement to expose the government's cover-up of extraterrestrial secrets. So I'll go first. I enjoyed this movie. I didn't love it. I definitely wanted to like it more than I did. I don't want to say I was disappointed by it, right? Because I definitely did have a good time with it, and I definitely did enjoy it. But I felt it was kind of small. I felt like I was expecting something else to happen, something more, and it never kind of really does. That doesn't mean that what goes on in the movie isn't interesting. I think there's some really cool action set pieces. I think there's some interesting ideas being presented. You know, it's Spielberg, so it's going to be shot really well. It's, you know, has great camera work. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt it was a little bit tame, especially for like his big return to summer blockbusters. I didn't really get that much of that type of feeling or experience out of it. I was definitely hoping for more going into it. I really liked the performances by Josh O'Connor and Emily Blunt. They were great. Colin Domingo, Colin Firth, everyone did, you know, great. Everyone does very good with what they were given. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know why Spielberg keeps working with David Koepp. He is not the best writer. Mm-hmm. And yet he keeps getting work, and I'm very confused on how that happens. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go ahead.
No. Do you have anything else to say?
No.
It insists upon itself, Lois.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just like my biggest issue with it, where I agree with you fully. I honestly, after I finished the film, I was like, did I like that? And I was like, yeah, I liked it. There was like good parts now, but I was like, but did I like the whole of it?
Right. Okay.
I don't think I could say. Yeah, I don't think I could say that I really liked it. Honestly, I was disappointed by it. It wasn't necessarily, you know, I very much agree that like it wasn't. I wanted something bigger. I expected something bigger. And then the film, it also felt like it was leading to something bigger. And then we'll talk about that in spoilers. But yeah, I don't know. I really just think like the writing was really poor. It kept telling me that this is the biggest deal in the world. This is like so important. This is gonna change everything. And you know, I was
What
just like,
gets
but
changed,
how?
Nick? Tell me. What gets changed? Tell me.
No, bro. Like, listen. No, listen. You don't understand. Sometimes aliens look like animals, so we now have to be careful about the animals in our existence. You know, bro. You don't
Yeah.
know. Now you know. Um, listen, bro. Like that's what I mean. And I also do think it is something about like poor timing. Again, not to talk about politics too much, but the government, like our real life government, keeps releasing these documents, who knows if they're real or fake, about like aliens existing and about like our recordings of them and yada yada yada. And you know, it felt impossible not to think about that during this film and be like, bro, nobody cares in real life. Like genuinely, there's so much shit happening. And then there's a point in this film, which I don't think is a spoiler, where the lady gets cut, where like the main character, she's like, I have the most important news, and then another news reporter is like, you want us to cut off World War III just to talk about
Right,
you,
yeah,
or
she's
to
like,
talk about
I
whatever
have
news?
I have the most important news in the history of mankind, or whatever the
Yeah,
fuck she
yeah,
says,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, that wouldn't, and then the reporter's like, okay, yeah, here you go, have the news or whatever, have the air. And I'm like, bro, like that shit is happening today and we still don't give a fuck. Like genuinely. Like
Yeah,
there are
I
equally
agree.
comparable
I
things
100%
happening.
agree. I think this movie is too little, too late. If it came out maybe 5-10 years ago, I think
Yeah.
it could have been really big. I think it could have a
Hmm.
lot of interesting things to say. But I think for the current world that it's coming out in, it doesn't say enough. Which is,
Yeah.
I feel like a really big problem with the way that the movie was promoting itself, of like, oh, like we're gonna change shit, like you have to listen. Um, it doesn't really say much. Like we're not really listening to much, you
It
know?
has nothing really to say other than the truth is important, and then it kind of finds some sort of interesting angle to it with the love interest girl, um, where you know, as much as I don't really
Jane.
like Jane, yeah, I don't really like this scene. Do you just want to get into spoilers?
Yeah, sure. We can hop into spoilers. If you haven't seen
Yeah,
the
yeah.
movie and you plan to, now's a good time to click off. Although I wouldn't say there's much to really spoil. But yeah,
Yeah,
spoiler
true.
warning is right here. Go ahead.
Yeah. So full disclosure. Uh, I just wanted to say that. Fuck, I just wanted to say that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, yeah. So there's that scene with Jane talking to Josh O'Connor's character, and she's like, but what about like, you know, this, that, and the other, and religion, and like all these people, like finding out the truth. And I was like, okay, that's as poorly written as that scene is, because they really are just saying it exactly how I'm saying it. We're like, what about the important, what about, you know, people who live in whatever. I don't have to reenact it. I'm like, okay, that's an interesting perspective on it. That's a unique angle. And then that easily gets discarded as soon as Jane becomes a plot device for something else, and also just has a little call with her nun characters. What, you know, whatever. The whole point of this film is just like the truth is important, the unequivocal truth. And I'm not disagreeing with that necessarily, but it's like they never demonstrate why it's important or why it's not. Like what the consequences of that could be. Because like the world, other than the World War III that we're living in, or that the world insists that it's living in, and like that one scene with the gas station and everything, where like there's a bunch of cars piling up, everyone seems to be like chilling, you know. You have that in, I mean, other than
Yes,
like the main
yes,
characters.
I agree 100%. This movie does not go into the whole World War III of it at all. It really brushes it aside like
Mm-hmm.
it's just like another day. Like, oh, you know, new basketball game going on today. What about
No,
that World
literally.
War III? Like,
No,
it's
literally.
really not addressed at all. And it just makes the world feel shallow, and it makes the story feel underbaked.
Mm-hmm. I feel like honestly, underbaked is kind of a lot of this film. I also really feel like it dies when, unfortunately, the boyfriend character leaves. I didn't like that character.
Wyatt Russell? I love him. I thought he was very fun.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was kind of annoying, but I also did like, I was into somebody, an naysayer, because after he leaves the film, uh, everyone just kind of turns into like a cult. Everyone is just like, we need to do it, and not even, and the worst part about it is they don't even know why they're doing it. So if they don't even know why what they're doing is significant or important, which like I get, it's it's the whole point of like what they're doing is that they don't know. But like if they don't even know, why should I know? Why should I care? What the fuck is the point of everything? And I'm still asking, like, why are aliens so important? Like what is it about these aliens? What are they gonna change? What are they gonna do? Nothing up to this point. Yeah, I liked his character. I do think his character became like nagging, and I was like, oh my god. But he was a necessary element to, like, he was the what is the word I'm looking for? He was like the audience surrogate. He was like, okay, yeah, he's the voice of reason of like explaining everything that needs to be explained to. And then once he leaves, everyone is just like, oh my god, like we all understand what we're doing even if we don't. And I'm like, okay, well, the movie just becomes on autopilot after that.
Yeah, this movie, if I had to describe it in like one word, is like edging the movie, right?
Yeah,
it's just like they're waiting so long to give us any answers about what's going on, about the aliens, about all of this. So when they really do give us the reveal, it feels like a whole lot of nothing. It feels kind of boring and safe and almost like a waste of time. Like, damn, like this is really what I waited all this time for? Not really.
And can I say, sorry, yeah, finish. I get what you're saying.
No, go ahead. I finished my thought.
Can I say that alien design boring? I was expecting more. I already saw it in like that one like clip that they released a few, I don't know, days ago, weeks ago maybe. But I was really unimpressed. I was hoping for something interesting, but to just get another little gray man. I was like, damn, Spielberg, you've kind of lost the sauce. If this is the best you can come up with, you really lost the sauce. Unfortunately, I don't know. I don't want to say that because there are interesting moments. The car chases are nice. I also didn't like Josh O'Connor's character at all. I was like, why should I care about you? You just seem like a nice boy, and that's it. Like nothing else, nothing more. And you just like help everyone do the thing, try to get to their goal, but you don't really have a goal to yourself other than just getting it out to the public. And I don't understand, and I still don't understand why it's so important for you, Josh O'Connor, to release these this alien information. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's my my biggest concern. That's my biggest problem with it. And I agree that like I don't understand why David Cope keeps getting work, or Spielberg and all.
Yeah,
all
so
these other, like,
I have David Cope's recent filmography, so I kind of just want to go over his career just so you have an idea of where he is. Before this, he wrote that Cold Storage movie that came out a few months ago, which I didn't see. He wrote Jurassic World Rebirth. He wrote Black Bag, which I really didn't like. He wrote Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny in 23. He wrote that shitty Mummy movie, the Tom Cruise one from 2017.
Yeah.
He wrote Indiana Jones: Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And then to find a really good movie of his, I will say he wrote War of the Worlds in 2005. I haven't seen that movie, so I can't say it's bad. Okay, so disregarding that, you have to go back to 2002, where he wrote the original Spider-Man 1, to find a good movie of his. And then before that, he has some good ones. He has Mission Impossible. He has Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But
he
this
also
current
the screenplay for Spider-Man, the OG with Sam Raimi.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, my bad. I didn't read that. I didn't hear that. Sorry, continue.
You're good. No, you're good. So yeah, I mean, clearly he had a career at some point, but his most recent movies have all been a bunch of duds. So I don't know why this guy keeps getting work. I wouldn't be surprised if there's not much left in his future.
Yeah, I mean, he's writing Westworld. The Westworld reboot that they're gonna make a film. Yeah.
He's attached to that.
Yeah. So, and apparently whatever the green
for now,
true, very true. I think they're trying to give us another Jurassic Park, man. Give us another Mission Impossible. Do you think? Oh, that's kind of crazy. Do you think they wrote this film the way that it did so that it could have a sequel? I don't know. Disclosure Day 2?
I don't think so. I wouldn't say so. I didn't get those vibes from the movie. I don't.
The only reason
No,
I'm saying that is
I wouldn't say so. No.
the only reason I'm saying that is because I really hated that ending, where like she just where it cuts out, it cuts to black.
Listen,
And like, bro, like that is edging the movie. Like, you're 100% right about that. Like, I was like, are you serious? You're not even gonna tell us what this big deal is? You're just gonna put it on this fucking journey and then let it up to audience interpretation what the big news, like, that had me pissed. That genuinely, I think that was the point where I was like, no, I don't think I like this movie. I don't think I liked it at all, actually.
yeah, the ending was rough.
Yeah, no, I mean, this guy, man, we'll see. I really didn't like Black Bag either. They definitely want him to make another, something successful.
Did you like that Jurassic World movie? I didn't like it very much.
I haven't seen
whichever one it was, Rebirth.
Other than the first Jurassic World, I haven't seen any of the new ones. Rebirth and whatever, Resurgence. Back in town. The dinosaurs are back in town or some shit. I don't know. I haven't seen any of it. It does surprise me that he wrote the original screenplay for Spider-Man.
He wrote the original Jurassic Park. He wrote the original Spider-Man. He wrote the original Mission Impossible. So he had the juice at some point. But
the thing is, though, he seems to work best with previously established properties. I think Disclosure Day is entirely original. And all of his most successful work, Spider-Man, Jurassic Park, and even Mission Impossible, were based on a previous property.
Right.
So he already had that framework. So yeah, I don't think he has it in him. Especially, I mean, I don't mean to call the guy old, but
not anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah. I don't think he has the sauce anymore. I think that's the thing where this also, I hear the discourse online about this film where like this is a boomer movie essentially, and also considering the majority of the audience that are going to it are plus 35. I didn't know that. It makes total sense, and this is just another product of the boomer pipeline, of the boomer movie industry that is dying out. Not to say that it's like a symptom of something like that, or that it's worse than what it is. It's just fine, really, honestly, as a film. But this isn't garnering this type of film. Could, like what you said, could have been a big deal like 5 years ago. But now with the films that we have and with the audience
not even 5 years ago. I feel like in a pre-COVID era.
Yeah, for sure. No, or maybe even like post-COVID, like post-COVID, like immediately after. Because like the whole thing is about like fake news and truth.
No, yeah. I can see that, but
yeah.
I don't know.
But
in its
that's
current
what I mean.
Position, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, this is the type of movie that's gonna die out eventually. What I mean by that is just like liberal filmmaking, just like movies that don't really have much to say and just kind of want to make everyone happy and don't have some sort of political inclination, but don't really go farther than just the superficial theme of what that political inclination.
Yeah, it really reminded me of that Civil War movie from a couple years ago. In the same way where it's not really taking a stance, and
yeah.
With that said, there are things that I liked about the movie. Like I said, I like the performances, I like the camera work, I like the score.
Yeah.
There is, it is worth watching just because it is a Spielberg movie, so it does have some good elements. But overall, unfortunately, I would say not as good as it should have been. And yeah, I guess we'll have to see whatever Spielberg does next.
Did you connect with any of the characters?
I liked Josh O'Connor a lot. I thought he was really great.
Fair.
What do you mean connect?
I mean, just like I guess like, were you interested in like their narrative within the film? Like, were you like, yeah, like I want you to win, or oh man, that sucks? Like whenever some shit happened.
Like not particularly, but not like against them either. More so just like I'm just here along for the ride, I guess. The
only one that I felt kind of anything for was Emily Blunt's character.
Yeah, she was great. It's probably one of her best performances.
For sure. I really liked that one moment where like they get to the house, they get to the decoy house, and or the recreation house, and
Mhm.
that one lady like starts like going on her knees and doing the cross with her hands, and she's like, no, 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 I'm not
Yeah,
your religion. Like, I'm like, that shit would have freaked me out. Like like that's a very real reaction,
yeah. See, they
and I
didn't
appreciate it.
dive deep enough into stuff like that. Like anything to
Yeah.
like give it some sort of like personality,
Hmm.
it just kind of lacking in that sense.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like, there's this theme of like religion and Christianity more than anything within the film that I thought could be interesting if Emily Blunt's character, like, because the whole idea is that like, oh, what if Emily Blunt's character and Josh O'Connor's character like existed in the real world, and these are all real. Like, this isn't like an Elseworld thing. This is supposed to exist within like
Right. This is very much set
USA
in our and yeah
in our
in
reality.
our yes, correct.
Yeah, so I do think that could have been an interesting angle to play up too, of like, oh my god, like how are people observing this woman, like, you know, seeing her as like like the second coming or whatever. But again, they just have that one little moment, and then that's kind of pretty much it. um and you know, that's kind of that's kind of how the whole film is. They have a little moment where they show the theme off, and then they kind of forget about it
Yeah,
for any sort of conclusion.
pretty much, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it for me, honestly.
Yeah, I don't have much else to say either. It's definitely not the big return to Spielberg blockbusters that we were expecting, but there are some okay elements in here which I would say make it worth at least watching and forming your own opinion. With that being said, that's it for episode 42 of Popcorn Problems. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you made it this far, you're the real MVP. We'll be back next week reviewing Toy Story 5. In the meantime, you can hit us up on socials
Oh
at Popcorn
god.
Problems Pod and let us know what you thought of Disclosure Day. Don't forget to follow, rate us 5 stars on whatever platform you're using, and DM us your hottest takes and suggestions. We will see you next time. Peace.
Have a good one.